And on the 8th day, God looked down on his planned paradise and said, I need a caretaker. So God made a farmer.
Howdy folks, I'm Darren, and welcome to 8th Day Chronicles here at Cross Timbers Farm. Glad to have you with us today. This beautiful early spring day. This is the day the Lord's made. Let's rejoice and be glad in it. We're out in our west hay field. What are we doing out here today? We are in the process of making premium quality hay. And you may be saying to yourself, this guy's nuts. What are you thinking? You're making premium quality hay the last day of March. Yes, we're in the processes of that. We're not actually making it per se today, but in one way we are. We're back here, you can see behind me the tree line. This is the only place on our hay fields that we have a tree line of any significance. It's right along the west side of the west field. And what are we doing out here today? I've got my four-wheeler right here behind me, and I've got a leaf blower strapped on that four-wheeler. Through the winter, the wind blowing, and we get a lot of our winds from the northwest, blowing leaves out of those woods into our hay field here in the west field. We came out here back in January, I think maybe it was, not long right after we limed. And we ran our pull behind bush hog back and forth over this field, clipping it and chopping up the leaves so the wind could continue to blow them away. That worked pretty good, but there's still a residue of leaves. We'll bend over, just like this, laying in this grass down in places. And you may say, well, I never get those out of my field. The wind will just blow them away. These are trapped down in the grass. They've made their way down into the grass, and the wind's not going to blow them out, or it already would have. And it's not that big of a deal when the hay gets big and you go through and you cut it. But when you go back and you ted and you rake, this stuff's going to kick up and be in your hay, in your windrows. And we strive to make premium hay, the highest quality hay we can, in a 2x2 round bale, a mini hay bale, mini round. And we use small scale hay equipment. So today I'm out here before this grass gets any taller. It is in the growing stage. The green up is happening and it's actively starting to grow. Before it grows any further and traps more of these leaves down in the grass where they're harder to get out, today we're going to run through here with a leaf blower and try to get all these leaves. Let me just bend over right here in one place, and I'm going to get down in the grass and pull. I accidentally pulled a piece of orchard grass. Look at that. Just in one place. Okay, we're going to try to get all these leaves that we can blowed back out of our hay field. So when the grass gets growing taller, it don't just bury these leaves. And then all of a sudden when we come through with the tedder and our new rotary rake, you walk out and look at your windrows later and you notice there's a bunch of leaves in it. That premium quality hay is mixed with all these leaves and the quality goes down. Now, that being said, hay is not grown in a big, huge greenhouse. It's grown out in the environment, out in the open. Some leaves can blow into it. You could have an occasional leaf in your hay bale. You could have the occasional weed. Even if you do all the treatments and the pre-emergent and the herbicide sprays, you can still have some weeds, an occasional leaf. This stuff's not grown in a greenhouse. Don't have unreasonable expectations. Be realistic and realize this stuff's grown out in the open air and in the environment, and things from the environment could end up, and probably will, somewhat in your hay, even if you're growing premium quality. But we're taking all the steps we can to eliminate that stuff. we're gonna try to get rid of these leaves out of this field. And it's limited to the last 1/3 of this small hay field, our west field. Back that way, we grow some really nice hay in this field. And we wanna get these leaves, all of them we can. We'll never get them all out, but we're gonna get the vast majority of them blown out here. Let's get at it. We're done. Leaf blower. You may think, what's that got to do with any premium hay? Well, we've got it out of our hay field. Little things. That's what separates good hay from premium hay. It's going the extra mile. This is going the extra mile. If you've got a woods line along part of your hay field and you're growing premium hay, you got to get that out. That's probably the hard way to do it. I've never been one to take the easy way. I need to invest in a backpack blower. I really do if I'm gonna keep doing this, because that takes a lot of work. That's a 3rd tank of gas in it too. But it is what it is. We've got it all blowed out. Yes, it didn't get every piece. There's still some laying around, but the majority of it's gone. Hopefully the wind will help with the rest of it. So, and even blowing it, you're still gonna have an occasional leaf or 2 or 3. That's just the nature of growing hay. Like I said earlier, stuff's not grown in the greenhouse. It's out in the elements, and we do every extra step we can to make premium quality hay. Of course, you got to have the soil and the grass and things of that nature, but the extra steps, getting the leaves out, things like we're doing today. Our little sprayer sit in the barn all winter long, and this is a real small sprayer. If you're smiling big acreage, this is too small for you, but for small scale hay equipment, this thing's perfect. And small paddocks and things of that nature. So it's really dusty, but before I spray it off and it gets wet, the first thing I want to do is just put some plain water in it, nothing but water, and turn it on and just drive it back and forth a little bit and make sure that the hoses has not got any leaks or anything. This thing's not been used since last midsummer. So, you know, it's been a while. I'm gonna put 3 or 4 or 5 gallons of this water. Ways till we can turn everything on, turn the pump on, make sure over winter nothing dry rotted, nothing frozen, busted a line. I'm pretty sure I had it all dried out before winter come. But you never know, if you might have missed a little bit. Go. We're about ready to start spraying. We are not going to be spraying pre-emergent in our test plot because I frost seeded some orchard grass in there this winter. And it's not very weedy anyway. We'll just wait for some of those weeds that come up and we'll spot spray it. There's already some buttercups starting to come up. And here in just a few minutes, I'm gonna take 2,4-D I'm gonna mix it in this little hand sprayer, garden sprayer, and I'm gonna walk around the test plot and hit those weeds before they mature. While they're actively growing, it's the best time that 2,4-D is the most effective. And tomorrow and the day following, we have rain in the forecast. Like 80% chance in 2 days. So tomorrow afternoon, you can see what I've got. Prowl H2O. That's what we decided to go with. I talked a lot with an agronomist friend of mine, and we discussed my situation, and I'm going to be spraying Prowl H2O pre-emergent on our main hay field and the test plot extension below where our old test plot used to be. We made it a little bit bigger, and it's got foxtail in it. We're going to spray that. We're going to spray our main hay field, and we're going to spray the west field tomorrow afternoon. We can do them pretty quick, and we're going to be using Prowl H2O. But for today, I'm going to mix up some 2,4-D, and we're going to go hit some of these weeds in the test plot, the buttercup. Just spot spray a few small places. It won't take 10 minutes. So I'm going to get going with that, and I'll end this video here. Come back with us tomorrow as we do our spraying tomorrow evening. That's all weather dependent unless the weather forecast changes. Prowl needs rain on it. You want to spray it and have it rain soon afterward, so that rain can work this pre-emergent herbicide into the soil. You don't want it sitting on top like you would have emerged weeds and hitting them with 2,4-D. You want this to soak into the ground to do its work. That's where it works. This works on the leaves and the surface of the plant to pull it into the root system. So we're going to do some of this today with our little garden sprayer, and this out of our little pull behind sprayer probably tomorrow unless the weather changes. Sitting here looking at the weather app on my phone for just a moment before we get started. And what we're doing today is super important in weather. We got to have the right weather conditions. We got to have rain. Today the rain chances are 7%. Tomorrow they're 72%. Exactly what we're looking for if this weather forecast holds. I feel like we're probably a little behind the 8 ball on getting our pre-emergent out. Better late than never. We're battling foxtail and some crabgrass. The crabgrass will be a side benefit of getting rid of this foxtail. Last year we had some crabgrass start showing up too in our main hayfield, hoping to get rid of that. But the main objective is our knotroot foxtail. And I'm not so sure that any pre-emergent herbicide's going to completely knock out knotroot foxtail. Now it probably would annual foxtails, yellow, green, giant foxtail, but we've got the knotroot variety. And from my understanding, talking to a lot of different people, is that Prowl H2O applied March pre-emergent and then apply it again after first cut. You keep punching it and it'll get rid of it eventually. It may not on one application, it may not on two, but it'll knock it back each time. And if we do that this year, then next year in February or March we spray pre-emergent again. That may take care of it. Time will tell. And that rooster over there is crowing his lungs out. Holy cow. That joker's got a set of lungs on him like an opera singer. So's the life of a farmer. I'm telling you. We got our sprayer about a quarter filled with water. Then you put your herbicide, then more water for a good mixing. We got our sprayer filled about a quarter of the way, and I noticed it's getting a little breezy. So I thought, you know how it goes. Let this vehicle pass down here that needs a muffler. So, you know, let's just sit down, take some break, and let this breeze pass. You do not want to be spraying when it's breezy wind because of drift. You spray when it's a calm day. And so it got a little breezy. So I thought, you know what, I'll just sit down over here and get me a good chew of leaf tobacco and just kick back in the sun and let this breeze pass. Give it 30, 45 minutes, you know, and it'll pass on. A little cloud front moving through and it'll be fine. Well, the longer I sit there, the windier it got and the windier it got. The weather forecast says rain tomorrow afternoon. It's like 70% chance. And you know the old saying, the calm before the storm. Maybe it'll be calm in the morning. Look at this, you see that leaf, just wind. Maybe it'll be calm in the morning and we can do our spraying in the morning. It's just too breezy this evening. So what I'm gonna do is just park the ATV and the sprayer, leave everything as is, ready to go in the morning. All I'll have to do is just hook up the sprayer to the ATV and mix the mixture in my tank and start spraying. Got our fingers crossed that it's not windy in the morning or tomorrow morning hours before lunchtime, that we can get our spraying done. Be back with you tomorrow. It's the next day. We're pretty early this morning. It's about 9 a.m. and I had some other farm chores to do this morning. It's starting to get a little breezy again. It's not bad yet. We're hoping to get this Prowl sprayed for our foxtail and crabgrass in the next hour. It's supposed to rain by 2 p.m. and it's about 9 a.m. now. So we're gonna get at it. We're gonna fill our tank about a quarter of the way with pure water. Then we will add our pre-emergent herbicide in Prowl H2O. We need this rain for the Prowl to work properly, to get into the soil down into the seed bed to prevent germination. So we're gonna get at it. We're gonna get our sprayer about a quarter of the way full, our tank, and then we're going to add our herbicide. Then we'll fill the tank the rest of the way. And we've calculated how much herbicide we need. I've consulted with an agronomist friend of mine, and he was not able to be here today. This is his busy time of year. And we had originally planned for him to come for this initial spraying and give us all a lesson. But because of his busy schedule and the time of year it is, we're gonna have to postpone that till after first cut, because we'll have to spray again after first cut to control our foxtail. So he will be with us. We're still planning that to give us all a good lesson in his knowledge and when to spray, what to spray, all that type of stuff. So stick with us for that. That'll be coming after first cut. Here goes our pre-measured herbicide. This stuff will stain your tank. I'm dreading it, but it is what it is. Okay, there we go. Okay, we're done with tank number 1. Now we're going with tank number 2. And bear in mind, this is small scale hay equipment. We don't do things here large scale, as you can obviously see. If you do small scale, small paddocks, small pastures, small hay fields, this small scale equipment is very efficient, cost effective. You're not paying out $5,000 or more for a large tank pull behind sprayer. You can buy a sprayer like this for a couple $100, $300, whatever it is, $400. I'm not sure how much they are now. Very effective. Just bear in mind you're not going to spray as fast as maybe you'd like. You just got to take your time, let it do its thing, and it's fantastic. All right, we've done sprayed out 23, 24 gallons. We're going for another 23 gallons. Probably have to do this a couple of times. We do have a measuring cup here I use with about all, we got a measuring cup I use with about all my herbicides, and it measures ounces, metric milliliters, cups. We're going, we use that to make sure we're getting an accurate measurement of our whatever herbicide we're using. If you're using a pre-emergent or really any kind of herbicides, make sure you shake it well. And this stuff looks like mustard. Main hayfield is done, sprayed with Prowl H2O. Hopefully I won't be reporting foxtail issues. I don't think one spraying is going to do it. We're going to do this one pre-season cutting, and then after first cut we're going to do another round of this Prowl H2O on our hayfields, and that'll be it probably for the year until winter when we spray again, or late next winter, early spring. I think it's going to probably, from everything I've gathered, take about 2 years. You just keep punching this foxtail, this Knotroot Foxtail, until it eventually succumbs to it. Yeah, I don't think it's going to kill it out the first spraying. I don't think it's going to kill it out even the second spraying. I think each spraying you're going to see less and less of it. until hopefully next summer at second cutting, not the first, but maybe second cutting and on, it's basically about gone. I don't want too high expectations. I want our expectations to be realistic. And I think that's our plan. It's a long-term plan. Knotroot Foxtail is a nasty, nasty devil to get rid of. All right, we're done with the main field. We've done refilled our tanks, and with the water and herbicide mixture, we're heading to the west field. West field, here we go. Okay, we're done spraying our fields with Prowl H2O. And that stuff looks like mustard, and it will stain anything that it's been in. So our tank's empty. We're filling it about halfway back with water, just plain water. And we're gonna go out in the field and just run back and forth and flush this water through the system to get all that out of there and hopefully not stain our tank so bad, but all the residual herbicide that's in there will just get washed out. Our pre-emergent spraying is done. Excuse me. And we're late doing it. That's just the way it worked out. With this pre-emergent we're using, Prowl H2O, and it may all be that way. I don't know. I'm not an expert on pre-emergent herbicides. But my understanding is, at least Prowl, I know does, you have to have rain. You need rain, and somebody correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. You have to have rain at least within 5 days of application. So, and we've been dry here the last month. It's been so dry, I ain't even built a campfire. I ain't shot my black powder rifles down with, because you know those things just spit embers out. And we are actually in the counties surrounding us and all in western North Carolina, we're under a burning ban. It's been so dry. And prayers for our firefighters and the Forest Service personnel and all those folks. You got our prayers. You're doing a good job on these fires. Keep it up. It's a dangerous time to be out burning anything. But that being said, we have not sprayed because we have had no rain. The rain has just been non-existent, and that's not good when you're starting out your growing season and it's just dry. And it is. I'm amazed that our test plot and our main hayfield and the westfield, all of them, I'm amazed they've grown as good as they have with how dry it's been. And I credit that to our sheep and what they done on them through the winter months. And of course we limed really heavy in January, and probably liming again maybe midsummer, depending on what soil sample tells us. We'll use that Moser Lee soil sample kit again, because man, I'm telling you, with pH, it hit right on the money. We'll try it again. But our pre-emergent spray is done, and we're got our fingers crossed for rain this evening. And then after first cutting, when all the hay after first cut's baled and up in the barn, we're going to hit it again with pre-emergent Prowl H2O to kind of give that Knotroot Foxtail a double punch. And from my understanding, like I said earlier, that every time we spray it will knock it back some. And then hopefully by next year, we do our spraying in the spring and again after first cut, and hopefully by then, fingers crossed, our Knotroot Foxtail problem will about be gone. I'm sure hoping so. Now, I've heard some things say that it'll be gone way before that. If we spray this spring and after first cut, that'll about do it. But I'm just being optimistic and not having too high expectations. That way, come after first cut and we spray again and it's about gone for second cut, I'll be ecstatically happy. That way I won't be let down. So we applied it at the rate recommended to us by our agronomist friend, and like I said earlier, he will be with us to give us all a lesson in soils, soil amendments, spraying, when to spray, what to spray, all that type of stuff. It's his busy time of year, as you can surely understand. And I do, I surely understand that. So me and him talked on the phone, and hopefully he will be here when we're ready to do our second application of Prowl after first cut. His schedule will slack up a little bit so he can visit us here on the farm and on the video for all of us to learn from his knowledge. Thank you for being with us today for our pre-emergent spraying. That Knotroot Foxtail really gut punched us last summer, and we're hoping this Prowl H2O gut punches it right back. Thank you for being with us. We really appreciate it, and I pray God blesses you and your family, and we pray y'all have a fantastic day.